Do. All right, folks. Let's give it a little bit for us to do a quick sound check. We can get this going. Try to make this pretty succinct. What we're discussing today. We're on for 10 seconds or so, but I don't see us. Okay, here we go. And now that we are here. All right, let me get my agenda up where we are, guys. Put this right here. So we got some viewership. So for the most part today, we're just going to give you a quick update on the white paper. Oh, it's a little behind where we are, and at the same time, we're going to give you an update on the platform development, which we're actually ahead. So I working on both at the same time, in addition to handling some issues related to people and their accounts. There were some people locked out of their accounts. Some people saying they didn't have currency, and some people just outright just trying to scam for coins. But we're being diligent. And before I get things going on my side, I'll turn it over to Colin. Let me do a sound check. All right. Can you hear me, Colin? Or
yep, I can hear you fine.
Okay, cool. So I want to turn it over to you, and then I'll give an update in terms of where we are on the platform and white paper.
Okay, so great. Welcome to the November webinar, November 8th webinar. I think this is our first Friday webinar, even though I think last year, earlier this year, we did webinars during the week, so maybe this is harking back to what we were doing on this year. Either way, it's Friday morning where I am here in Shanghai, China, so good morning to most of you guys, and good night, Thursday evening to the rest of you guys. For all of you who are watching this webinar later via YouTube or whatnot, hello, whatever day, whatever time you're watching this webinar. So as David alluded to, we have made some progress. I'm happy to announce that we have closed the swap period when you're taking your own LBC, LGS, and swap it to XCZ. The swap period is over. We ended that about 8 days ago. We do have a small amount, a handful of requests that are still pending, and those are pending information from the requester. Typically, information to prove certain things about their request. As David alluded to, we have some people. First of all, we have the vast majority of our owners, people who own XCZ, who were previously on LBC and LGS, who are what we call model owners. Right? They support us, they encourage us, and they do not do the things that question. We do have, as with any business, as is life, we do have a small amount of owners who do try to take advantage of loopholes, who try to take advantage of situations. So we have some people who are making claims and requests that aren't valid, and that's okay. That happens. One of the challenges we have is when you read our Discord boards, our Telegram boards, usually we see questions about how to do some things, right? Questions about what's happening next. We also see people giving feedback. Feedback. I submitted an email X amount of days, I have not heard back, or I made a request for a certain coins, I have not gotten a request. A lot of those people are really bad actors, quite frankly. People who have put in transactions that was very questionable, and when asked to give some proof, they weren't able to do that, so they want to and sort of sound the alarm so that we'll know how to help them comply by giving them XPD information they do not know. And I'm going to do that. So guys, just trust that. Again, people who are happy don't say much, because the people who are unhappy say a lot. So just trust that we have a lot of happy customers, and we're going to be pulling away from some of the bad actors. And we're hopeful with XChainZ, we hope that everybody will continue to show us who they are, being the kind of build and support the project and have confidence that helps support us in the next future. All right. Having said that, we do have a little question. Now, recall, guys, one of the reasons that we moved away from LPP and LGS is that from a management level, we did not have enough control to be able to control over the technical side to be able to really manage those projects. When we started to do the merge, we had about a 1 week period where a lot of the LG transactions that went from LGS out of the desktop wallet or through chain had some issues, meaning we could not recover those. We were able, though, to recover the transaction. We know how much was sent, but the coin never got to the wallet. So what we did, we provided a one.
Yeah, Colin. Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but they're not hearing. Um, they're not hearing us. Let me see if I can adjust the volume of that bit.
Okay. Let me move this a little closer to me, my side.
Okay, so we just increasing the volume now. I don't know if that's better or not.
Let me start talking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 12. Help see if that.
What about now?
I'll continue to talk while we're typing in that feedback.
Yeah. So we are doing the white paper. We're doing an update. The target now, we're just looking at the end of November to be able to push out the white paper. And we're going to show you guys what progress that we've made on the platform actually today. So that's why we have the site up. We're going to walk through the enhancements that we put on. But let me know if you can hear it.
So they're hearing you, hearing me.
I don't know. I'm asking questions. I have the audio capture up. So check. So got here. Let's do the settings here. I'm going to add one audio input capture. And
You're not responding to it.
I actually typed in the chat. Okay, can you hear now? So I'm looking in the chat. David is okay, but Colin cannot really understand. So I'm looking to make an adjustment on Colin because it's pulling in my mic. But I'm wanting to. Say again? If I mute my mic. Let me do info built
Let me know if you guys can hear my mic. If you can hear me, let me know. If you can't hear me, let me know that too. So put that in the chat. If you can hear me, let me know. If not, let me know if you can hear me. Okay, I think it was an audio input. So can you hear Colin? So we're gonna do a test now, Colin.
Okay, I'll do one more test. I'll do my famous. I will not do a countdown. I'll tell folks that we have a great warm winter day here in Shanghai. I think it's approximately about 20 degrees. Feels great. The air pollution today is not high. It's been high lately, so you can walk your kids outside with no issues today.
No collusion.
It's not how it was last week in India, but it's not well today. This is good. It's good today. The sun is out today.
Okay, better. All right, there is some noise here. Let me see if I can reduce the noise just a tad bit. So I hear Mike Rogers saying, "Release the transcript." Is the transcript? You can hear me. If you guys can hear me, let me know. And if there's still some noise in the background, I'll try to reduce some of that noise in the background because that just could be some echo.
Right. I can mute my mic from my talking.
All right, so we're not getting any feedback. We got 6 watching now. At this point, Zach hears me. Mike can hear. Leah can hear as well. So if you can talk to me, Colin, I can hear Damon clearly, but Colin sounds very low. So I don't know if I can adjust your mic on what's happening on your side. Perhaps it's just the feedback coming in from Zoom.
It was one application trying to talk to another application through the microphone. So just I think for now, let's go ahead and repeat what I mentioned, highlight it, and we'll work on this. Try to find another method for the rest.
Yeah, we're gonna stay on, guys. After this is done, and try to get it squared away. But for the most part, I'll vocalize what Colin is saying, so you can hear, and we can move forward from there. So if you can give me like a few words at a time, Colin, because my memory is bad, so I can tell the team.
Okay. So we finished the swap.
The swap is finished.
The swap is finished as of November 1. We have a handful of requests still outstanding that are awaiting further verification from the owners.
Yeah, there's some verification that needs to take place to take care of some issues related to the swap. But we're going to square those away after we go through some verification of members.
Right. So we're going full speed ahead with management of XCZ, and we're going to be officially cutting ties with LPC and LGS.
And we'll soon be cutting ties with LPC and LGS. And we have a question from Leah about when will the white paper and roadmap be published. So because of the adjustment,
we'll come back to that. Let's get through this first.
What else do we have to cover?
Yeah, so we're going to be soon. We're going to be notifying the exchanges that we're not managing LPC LGS. They may continue to delist. So if you're an owner, be aware of that. We do not know how long we're going to still be on the exchanges.
Just be aware that we'll be notifying exchanges about LPC and LGS no longer being under our management because we're moving solely to XChainZ. So we'll be notifying the exchanges. Perhaps they'll still be going through some delisting of LPC and LGS, but for the most part, we're not managing that process anymore. For those two.
Finally, we do know that there are some users that are experiencing some sign-on and other issues in the exchange platform. Continue to send me emails. We do have a VPN issue here, so it's now taking me approximately 2 to 3 days to respond to those emails. I'll get to those as soon as we get the VPN back up.
Yeah, and Colin will get to the VPN issues in like up to 3 days. It'll take him about 3 days if you are contacting him about log on concerns. So just give him about 3 days to reach back out to you guys in terms of where we are in terms of you having issues. But just please be patient. It's two of us like working on this part time. We got jobs, we got families we got to take care of, but we do understand that you've invested in a project and you want us to do well, and we do appreciate your patience in terms of where we are. Anything else, Colin?
That's it.
All right, I'll keep this short, guys. On on our side with the white paper, as I mentioned before, we're targeting now the adjustment of having a release white paper by the end of November. We've been doing two things at once. We've been writing the white paper, and it's about 75% complete. And we have been developing the platform, the AI based platform for first the assessments from the administrator portion, where the administrator can register people for assessments, and either students or trainees or anyone interested in understanding like their interpersonal skills, where they stand on certain competencies, the employee or examinee portion, excuse me, of the assessment platform. It's the underlying aspects of it is totally built out. There are some interface issues that we're working through, but then we'll get to them. Like for example, I can show you guys now, but I did want to address the white paper. White paper roadmap at the end of the month. When and where will the coins be listed? When and where the coins will be listed, we're targeting some of the initial exchanges that we were on first, and the ones that we had targeted prior to the swap. So you're talking about Bittrex being the main one that we're going after, primarily ones that judge the merits of a project based on its white paper, based on its product and its roadmap and the team. So we have been approached by or communicated to by a few exchanges requesting us to list. I know CoinX, where we're currently listed, they're constantly staying in contact with us, asking us when will we list or relist for the XChainZ project on their platform. So I say we need to have a minimum viable product out first. So you'll have a white paper with a roadmap, a minimum viable product, so that people can read the white paper, actually log on to the XChainZ platform, and then engage in the MVP, which is the assessment. First, now it's the assessment portion, and then there's the training portion, and then there's the coaching. But in this order, it's assessments, coaching, training. Assessments, coaching, training. That's where we do have competencies, and that's where we do have the ability to build. So I'll give you guys a quick walkthrough of where the platform is now on the assessment side. So now, if you've noticed, if you've logged on to XChainZ recently, we did do some minor updates, small things that you're seeing in terms of, like, we have the new logo. At the same time, we have some portions of the site. So when you log on, and if you are an administrator, or if you are someone who's interested in either administering assessments to yourself or administering assessments to like a survey or something like that to a group of people, you'll have an administrator tab. So you'll see this tab here. You see wallets, XPay, Xcert, admin. And if you're able to click on admin, you'll see portions, a new interface. So now you see this new interface that has overview, registration, analytics, search, and like settings for where you are. The registration portion is for the enrollment into assessment tools. So if you have a survey, if you built a survey and you want to administer it to say 40 people, 50 people, or to 100 people, you can upload a file with emails, and then email communications will be sent out with a link to all the people who you want to either complete your survey, complete your test, which may be just a basic assessment or an inventory, and then you will receive the responses, and the responses will be available in the search tab. But right now we have a general overview tab, and after the overview tab, then There's registration, where you can register for assessment tools like examinee registration, and then registering them on the platform, and then going through the test registration portion. So right now it's very rough. It's MVP, but we're getting there. But right now it has the overview, registration, analytics for certain assessments, so you can get data around the administration of either the surveys or the tests as well. Um, Make a minimum deposit for staking, at least 100 coins. At the moment, staking comes even from a few coins. It turns out a lot. This will greatly increase inflation. Okay, we'll address some of those issues a little bit later, but I want to get through like the administration portion in terms of what we have developed on the platform, so you can see from the examinee perspective and the administrator. Right now, we're looking at the administrator, and you're seeing like on the analytics tab. And there's also a search tab as well when you're starting to search for assessment tools. So this is just from the administrator perspective. If you're administering surveys or assessments or inventories to groups of people, you could register them in bulk on the registration tab by uploading a CSV file, and then an email communication is sent out to those individuals, so that will allow them to come back onto the XChainZ platform and complete the assessment. Let me go through, and then I'll give a walkthrough of the examinee portion as well. And in the examinee tab, there are several areas that you'll be able to see. This just briefly talks about the online assessment platform and just navigating through the site. You see the overview tab, the practice question tab, and then the assessments tab, the results, and then feedback. So for example, looking at the practice questions, clicking through that, you'll see like multiple choice. This just gives you an overview of the platform, so you're familiar with the different item types that you may see. Going through just basic addition questions, fill in the blank or true false, fill in the blank short answer, typing something H2O, we know that's water for the most part, and then multiple lists, being able to answer multiple questions or multiple responses at the same time. And then there's also some video-based components we still have to be able to tweak. Now, I'll show you the next portion of the assessments. Yes, Mike Rogers, I'll get to your questions about the AI portion as well. There are a couple papers that I can show to you. Give me a quick second. On the assessments, that's the tab where if you're registered for assessment tools, you'll see the tests show up in this prompt. You'll see a drop-down box, and you'll see a number of assessment tools that you can take. The computer adaptive test, these are questions that adjust according to a person's response pattern. So if you get questions right, it'll give you more difficult questions. If you get a lot of questions wrong, it'll adjust to your skill set. Here's a results tab that you'll be able to see results of your assessments if they are viewable. And then there's a feedback tab if you have any issues with certain assessments, like you have missing images or text, internet connection issues, or error page, a site crash. And this also goes as well for this platform too. And give me a second, Mike, and I'll address your question around the paper related to the AI. But for the most part, here's the examinee portion. It has a complete view for the examinee for going through practice questions, assessment, results, feedback, and then going back to the main menu. You just click the XChainZ tab, and then it brings you back to the traditional tabs that you see here with XPay, Xcerpt, and then like the new admin tab. If you are an admin, by clicking on that admin tab, you see registration, the analytics associated with assessment tools, then the search function associated with looking for a test. So Mike, I have a question. A while back, during one of your last webinars, I asked for a copy of the AI code. I messaged you on Discord as you requested and never got a response. I'll actually I'm right here, and let me pull down for you. I'll show you the actual paper. So where is that here? I'm going to portfolio, giving you the demo, Lumina, and then portfolio, LMNOP, go. Right here. Right here. So once again, this work is based on like almost well over a decade of the work that I've done um, at the Educational Testing Service of Princeton, New Jersey. The people who are responsible for administering the SAT, the GRE. I helped build out some of those initial next generation of algorithms. So here's the original paper. Let me go ahead and magnify that so you guys can see it. So here's the original paper, and this is a note on item information in any direction for the multidimensional 3-parameter logistic model. So this model, the logistic model, is the model that's used for the computer adaptive testing. This is just the pure mathematics. So you see the mathematical formula for the logistic model. You see how it's derived. And this information function, this is the function that's used and actually programmed within the code to administer the computer adaptive test. So after you actually go through the point of finding the item information function, then it's the case you have this directional derivative. And the directional derivative, from that point, you're able to solve and find what the information function is for various models. In this case, I only show 3 for the item selection algorithm. So the next formula I derive is for maximum information. This is how you can select questions in an adaptive test using the expectation maximization algorithm. It's a machine learning algorithm that's used primarily in computer vision. And Mike, if you send me right now your code or your GitHub ID. Because I said if I said I show you the code, I can show you the code, but I'd have to show it to you in our repository. But right now, this is the basic formula that's programmed into the platform for administering artificially intelligent tests. So it's actually stated right here for multidimensional adaptive tests. So this was done almost 10 years ago, but now it's actually been implemented in code. So it's research investigating algorithms for multidimensional adaptive tests, which are computer adaptive tests or very narrow AI assessment tools. So this is the theoretical framework that provides the foundation for the work that we're doing. Let's see here. That's actually programmed into XChainZ. So if you like I said, if you want to send me over your GitHub ID, I can let you see that code. And there's Dev English. That's someone who has been involved in some of the work that we've been doing. As you've been in the community, I recognize your name. So yeah, that's it where we are for the most part. We've been developing the platform. This is the platform. It has, as I mentioned before, the examinee portion, the examinee view, the administrator view, and just the typical wallet view for all of you so far. So right now I don't have any more questions or comments. I'll take questions from in the chat, and I do see there were some from Lydia on like the white paper, the roadmap. When will the coins be listed? Like I said, we won't list until this is live, and we're looking at this will be live in about a week or so. So there's a few tweaks that we have to do and assess on the assessment side to actually load the test, and then go through the process of load the test, go through the process. It passed all of the unit tests and all the coverage of the code that we have, and then we're going to start rolling these things out slowly but surely, and asking for individuals who want to participate in some of the beta testing that we'll be doing.
Hey, David, just let them know that what they're seeing here, as you said, is our version 1, is the MVP.
It's the MVP, yeah, no doubt. This is the MVP, guys. So
there'll be some change. They'll see some visual change. They'll see some contextual changes. But this is where we are, and as we roll out, we want to commit, right, to having something that they can play around with. We're going to have something for a small select users, as you said, in a few weeks. But for the masses to get in there and sort of drive around, that will be Q1, most likely Q1 next year.
Yeah. So we're in a position where, like the platform, like I said, for the infrastructure, all of the code, all of the schema, the adaptive algorithm, it works and everything is in place. I have an LGS and LPC balance in my XChainZ wallet as well as XCZ. Will it all become XCZ? We did a swap, Dev, on LPC and LGS, LPC and LGS for XChainZ, because you do have what you have in your account now. In XChainZ is actually, if you hadn't changed anything, is actually the balance of your LPC and your LGS. We will delist from our platform support for LGS and LPC at the end of the month, and will no longer be supporting it, and will make a respectful request to the exchanges that we're no longer supporting it. If there are members in this community who want to support LPC and LGS and want to be that point of contact, let us know, because it won't be us, because we have enough issues already just supporting the new project. So we want to be able to focus exclusively on the new project, having a platform where you guys can really come in and be proud that you have a platform that was built from scratch, and a project when we did the swap, developed a new coin that would support training, assessment, and coaching on the new platform. And this is right now is a reflection of that work. Other users 123 hash 15176. I don't know what that means, Mike Rogers. But for the most part, that's what we have, guys. Unless there are any more questions, I'll open up for Colin to see if he has any other comments. And then we could go from there.
No comments.
All right. Above is my other user 1234 Mike Rogers. I'm assuming that's your GitHub ID that you have. That user 1234 hash or pound 5176. Okay, that's above. That's your Discord ID. Send along your GitHub ID. I think you could hit me up on what's that, Telegram. I'm a Xanthix on Telegram, AXANTHICS, and then you can ping me over your GitHub ID, and I can add you to the repository and walk you through it. But just seeing the code, but just seeing it probably won't make much sense unless you have an orientation. It's about a good 150,000 lines of code, developed going all the way back to when I was at Princeton in ETS. So you're talking about 2003. So it's a good 16 years. So I've been developing it since then and been making enhancements as new modules have been coming out. But that's all I have, guys. And we've been working. So just believe and just know that we have been working, and this is the result of what we have so far. Log on to XChainZ so you can begin to see now how we're updating the interface, and you're beginning to see a different look and feel. At some point, you'll be able to see different tabs or different tabs here, like the admin, if you are an admin, and then you have a totally different view. How many programmers are on the team right now? Right now, it's two of us for the most part. We don't have any. We're open to having volunteers who either want to do unit tests, or right now, we probably won't let you touch too much of the AI code. But as you if new members come on and become more and more familiar with it, or even want to just get involved in the front end in building out the UI and to have a great user experience, we welcome folks to be able to come on and help us in that regard. Yeah, so no, thank you, Dev. We're gonna push, man. We're a little bit behind. We're ahead on the coding part, a little bit behind on getting out the white paper. But for the most part, we're going to have that MVP out in the next couple weeks, and then the white paper at the end of the month. So then we can start getting things in place for the coaching and adding in the coaching interface and the coachee interface, and then the trainer and the trainee interface as well. So it will be a complete package, and then now we start pushing content. And there are some partners that we've had some discussions with right now who are they did review our site, and they said, well, you guys don't have up like a minimum viable product, or you don't have a product up at all, and we typically work with partners who already have some mechanism through which they can deliver training before we just pipe hundreds of training modules into their platform. So that's one of the areas that we're focusing on now, just to bring you guys top tier developed content on hot skills that are in demand, where you can use your your XChainZ, or you can use a credit card slash, more than likely it's going to be PayPal on the other side, where you can use your to credit card to purchase either XChainZ or training directly. So if if you have XChainZ and you want to take training, and it's priced at $10 US, and right now we have a nominal price of 10 cents for XCZ, or if we have it started at 25 cents, then it's $10 per test. Then you can do the math on how many XChainZ or that is and what that corresponds to, and then as we list, everything will change out. Okay, that's all. I've been running my mouth, but I'm excited in terms of where we are. Like I said, we do have a minimum MVP. We just need to push that out in the next week or so, and then at the same time get that white paper out at the end of the month. But with that said, man, I'm good. You got anything else, CT? I know I talked to you already.
I'm good.
All right.
We'll talk to the guys next webinar.
All right, we'll talk to you in another 2 weeks, guys, and then we'll give you an update on this fully rolled out platform and let you know where we are. Thanks for your time. Bye bye. Almost done. I'll need to get that here. Where are we? And stop. And that was almost done.